first tip about BxShadow is to pin it to your taskbar. If you open the program, you'll see an icon in the taskbar that shows you have this program open. Right click, say pin this program to the taskbar. I like to slide it over here. Then you don't have to find the desktop icon every time. When you want to open it, there it is. The first feature of BxShadow is the Enable Shadow button. If you enable the shadow, it opens up and you can see it. I like to position the shadow first so I know where it is. Normally that includes expanding it to full screen and fixing it. One of the features is once it's fixed, you can control anything underneath the shadow. If you want to change the size, you uncheck it and put your cursor over the shadow, which is the whole screen. Double click and it resizes it. Another feature is default or automatic mode. BxShadow always opens in default mode, and there's no way to save your own individual default settings. You have to use these and change them. If you uncheck default, that makes these active, so you can set them if you want to. And you see if you check default, they're not available. They're grayed out and you can't click on them. If you select automatic, you can change them. Automatic will set the range according to whatever the signal is from BioExplorer. Default is just 0 to 1. Now 0, a signal of 0 meaning it's the lowest possible for success, will give you a high shadow range. The default is 80%. If you want the shadow totally black, you can change that. You can change that to a 1. And then when there are no targets met, or when it's at its worst, as far as success goes, it will be black. The low is 0. That means when you're completely successful, it will be completely bright. There's no shadow at all. I would leave that as it is. Another thing you can affect is the volume. Many people have asked about the volume. How can we turn off volume control? BxShadow controls all the volumes on your computer, whether you want it to or not. So if you do not want the volume controlled by BxShadow, you need to set this to practically 1. It has to be less than the high, which is 1. So if I type in 0.99, that's 99% volume. That's almost 100%. So effectively, there is no volume change. Your sounds should be just about the same, regardless of how well you're doing with the thresholds. Now, some people do want the volume control, but they find that 20% as the lowest is too low. It can be distracting. So if you want that not so quiet, you can change it. You can make it 40 or 50%. Just change this in the low area. To reset all the levels, check default and then check automatic again. That will reset your expected